My lords, today I bring report from Dr. Braytak upon the newly established colony, Dakara. During a standard reconnaissance of Dakara, the planetary exploration team came across a massive door built deep into the side of a rock face that apparently leads directly into the interior of a mountain range. It appears that a strong magnetic field produced by some sort of cloaking device hid it from both the science vessel sensors and the ground surveillance team of the established colony. It appears the camouflaged entrance remained invisible to our research probes mapping the surface of the planet. Dr. Braytak was summoned to investigate this clearly ancient structure. The cloaking technology is quite novel. We have not encountered this before and hope to be able to reverse engineer, or at the very least hybridize it. However, the primary objective was to pry open the door and see what secrets it held. Clearly, if so much effort was made to hide this, something quite valuable must be inside. Braytak quickly ascertained that brute force was not the best way through this door. Although a portable tachyon lance or tactical neutron charge would likely be able to pierce the door, it may also damage whatever was on the other side. Braytak began experimenting with the door's security locks. Quite quickly, he discovered delivering a steady stream of energy, repeating in sequence, should make the door operational again, eventually allowing us to open it and see what's inside. As energy flowed through the circuits, the entrance started coming online, and with additional tinkering, Braytak quickly discovered how the door worked. Additional topographical research revealed the interior to be a large underground vault. Alien infrastructure covered every square centimetre of the walls. Even the huge pillars supporting the ceiling showed faint energy signatures. Given the energy readings and vague similarities to our own technology, it appears that we have found an underground manufacturing facility. Braytak's initial phase of research on Dakara was largely focused on mapping the entrance. The first room within the vault is a giant hall stretching deep into the mountain, with several branching corridors pushing even further into the depths. Various ornate plaques decorate stone-chiseled pillars, each depicting the alien race that presumably built this place. Currently we cannot decipher their language, but the story told by the art pieces is centered on warfare, struggle, and grandiose projects. A story not unlike our own. Struggle builds greatness, after all. Unfortunately, Braytak had to deal with the loss of an entire mapping team. Within several minutes of reporting the presence of strange clouds in the dark, the team simply vanished. The situation is in danger of slipping out of control and calls for more decisive action. It remains unclear where these workers went, and search teams were sent out to find them and assess the situation. The missing workers were found in a quite grotesque contraption that imprisoned them between 4 movable walls. Unfortunately, these individuals are no longer of any use to the Empire, but at least their sacrifice revealed the existence of the trap. Work continues without any further disturbance, and extreme caution is now being taken by the remaining workers to ensure they do not suffer the same fate. At this point we must ask the question, given the giant security door, why would the aliens lay traps within their own halls? Braytak and the teams delved further into the corridors at Dakara and discovered a large hall, which was strangely devoid of the pipe machines covering every other hallway and wall. It looks like whoever built this place took special care of it. There were many statues here in excellent condition, depicting bipedal aliens, and with some traces of detail they mostly have a uniform appearance. Unfortunately, there is no evidence of what this hall was, other than some monumental tribute to historical figures. During the continued exploration of Dakara, seismographs have detected an impending earthquake. Most of the workers found safety, but one group became trapped in a remote hall that could be at risk of collapse. They reported 2 distinct ancient machines, one being a bulky contraption connected to the ground and the other connected to the walls via a series of pipes. It was unclear if they were of any importance to the facility, but the workers suggested that it may be possible to use one of those machines to reinforce the ceiling and the walls against the earthquake. They requested permission from Braytak, who gave the order to go ahead. The workers managed to disassemble the machinery and successfully bolster the strength of the supports and the ceiling. However, This effort exposed extensive piping in the walls, from which a hissing noise began to escape. The hissing noise turned out to be chlorine gas. Although the team managed to survive death by earthquake, they all sadly succumbed to an arguably much worse fate via the inhalation of the chlorine gas. Braytak reports exploration of the facility on Dakara finally has yielded some insight. Our first assessment turned out to be correct. The vault is in fact a giant foundry. Further analysis of the alien language reveals that it was referred to as the King Forge. However, the forge was never operational. Its builders apparently lacked the technology to see the project through to completion. Braytak believes it should be possible for us to finish their work as long as we can get into the heart of the foundry. Although the way is blocked by heavy doors, our engineers insist they can be overcome. However, as the doors don't have any obvious locking or opening mechanisms, a certain application of force will be required before we can proceed. Braytak has requested a shaped neutron charge be brought down into the facility. Fortunately, after additional research, Braytak quickly recognized something in the door that served as a security camera or scanner. Hacking into it was a more difficult task, but he was able to decipher its programming and basic functions, and thus he gained access to the door without further complication. The heart of the foundry on Dakara is a twisted machine room full of pipes, conveyor belts, and what looks like workstations. Our initial scan and a quick survey revealed that power, maintenance, and key systems are missing. It also looks like our exploration of the vault may have had some effect on the internal workings of the machine. The team discussed the option of repairing the machine, however it will be time consuming, and a further option was raised. Perhaps it would be better to scrap the machine. Of course, Braytak made the correct decision for the good of the Empire, and he and his science team began to repair the machine. Braytak and the team were successful in making repairs to the heart of the foundry. Energy now flows through the hungry machines on Dakara, and with a deafening roar, the pipes begin to transport the liquefied materials, filling the entire facility with wonderful light and great heat. The raw materials delivered to the workstations, where operators can now form them into alloys of the desired shape and density. It looks like every part of the foundry was made with just this one purpose in mind. Even the structural support pillars are involved, a truly wonderful design. Braytak reports, however, that despite the operation and marvellous alloy production, there is concern that toxic gases are building up within the main chamber of the vault. The gas at its current concentrations is non-lethal, but it can be hazardous to anyone who operates the workstations. If we want to make full use of this place, we should put some safety measures in place. Various options were put forward, but the simplest and easiest was simply to rotate the workforce. Strict 4-hour shifts are in place with sufficient rest post-exposure. Braytak suggests we slowly replace the workforce with aliens more suited to the tasks, or even robots, to avoid putting human lives at risk. For now, however, the alloy output is well worth any minor loss of life. Braytak reports work on the foundry is almost complete, but there are still places where we can improve on the original design. Braytak estimates that by increasing the amount of minerals we input, we could increase the production of alloy. As such, mineral import to Dakara has been increased tenfold. It is quickly becoming the single largest alloy producing world in the Empire. Whoever these aliens were, they created quite the marvel for us to stumble upon. We believe we are now the single greatest alloy producer in the galaxy. Braytak has been stationed on Dakara permanently to oversee this site, and given the economic output, the system's defensive capabilities are being significantly upgraded. A mega shipyard has been commissioned to effectively eliminate supply line conflicts from foundry to shipyard. Soon, Dakara will produce more ships than any other system in the galaxy. The Galactic Senate, and indeed the entire galaxy, will soon bow beneath the might of the Commonwealth of Man. Thanks for watching, folks. Have you come across this event? If so, what decision did you make regarding its operation? And as ever, if you want to hear another story, please click the video on screen now.